The Oscars red carpet is Hollywood's ultimate diamond-crusted battlefield. But if you want to truly command the spotlight, there is only one shade that matters: silver. Far more than just a metallic trend, a silver gown is a statement of power, a nod to the celestial, and a high-fashion suit of armor that turns a star into a legend. From vintage Dior treasures that were nearly lost to time, to futuristic mirrored mosaics that look like liquid mercury, we are counting down the most breathtaking metallic moments in Academy history. Welcome to the Fashion News. Let's dive into the top 15 best silver dresses at the Oscars. Reese Witherspoon, 2006. On the night she clinched Best Actress for Walk the Line, Reese Witherspoon donned a piece of fashion history that nearly remained locked away in a Paris boutique. Her gown was a vintage 1955 Christian Dior Couture creation, sourced from Didier Ludo's world-renowned archive. The owner was famously hesitant to part with the piece due to its museum-grade rarity and cultural significance, but Reese eventually secured it for her princess moment. The ensemble was a breathtaking display of silvery champagne-beaded tulle, featuring intricate metallic threadwork and delicate rose garland embroidery that shimmered under the flashbulbs. Although the dress was a mid-century artifact, it underwent high-stakes modernization before it hit the red carpet. Because Dior no longer possessed the original patterns, the garment was actually sent to Valentino's atelier for custom alterations. The original off-the-shoulder straps were adjusted to sit traditionally on Reese's shoulders for superior support, and a row of small decorative buttons was added to the center of the bodice to replace an original bow. By blending the craftsmanship of 1950s Paris with 2006 styling, Reese managed to look like a vintage dream brought to life, creating a silver-toned aesthetic that remains one of the most romantic and storied wins in the history of the Academy Awards. Anne Hathaway, 2009. At the 2009 Academy Awards, Anne Hathaway, nominated for Best Actress for her role in Rachel Getting Married, delivered a look that would permanently elevate her to style icon status. She chose a custom shimmering silver Armani privé gown that captured the light so intensely it was often described as a fluid, light-emitting column of tiny mirrors. The dress was a strapless, floor-length mermaid silhouette that transitioned into a sweeping train, creating a celestial fairy-mermaid aesthetic that perfectly balanced modern edge with old Hollywood glamour. The engineering behind the gown was as impressive as its sparkle. It was entirely hand-covered in a diagonal pattern of thousands of Swarovski crystals, sequins, and paillettes. These paillettes grew larger as they progressed down the skirt, adding a weighted architectural depth that caused the dress to weigh a substantial 15 pounds. This living sculpture effect was originally even more dramatic. Hathaway's longtime stylist at the time, Rachel Zoe, famously collaborated with Giorgio Armani to trim the dress's original runway train to ensure it felt sophisticated rather than bridal. Completed with Cartier diamond jewelry and a voluminous updo, the look symbolized Anne's transition from a beloved Hollywood ingenue into a major dramatic force in the industry. Amy Adams, 2017. For the 2017 Academy Awards, Amy Adams stepped out in a striking custom metallic silver gown by Tom Ford that felt like a deliberate power move. Although she had been famously overlooked for a Best Actress nomination for Arrival that year, she arrived as a presenter in a look that dominated the conversation. The dress was a form-fitting column silhouette heavily embroidered with bugle beads and sequins, creating a shimmering, reflective finish that her makeup artist aptly described as liquid silver. The design marked a sharp departure from Amy's typical old Hollywood preference for soft tools and classic lace. Featuring long sleeves and a dramatic plunging V-neck line that reached nearly to her waist, the look was noticeably bolder and sexier than her previous appearances. To complement the cool-tone metal of the gown, she accessorized with high-end statement pieces, most notably 10-carat diamond earrings by jewelry designer Cindy Chow. Her beauty look grounded the high-shine ensemble. She wore her signature red hair in a bouncy, curly blow-dry, while her makeup featured a smoky cinnamon eye and a custom berry-toned lip, creating a warm contrast against the icy brilliance of the dress. Jennifer Lopez, 2019. Jennifer Lopez arrived at the 2019 Oscars in a custom Tom Ford creation that looked less like a dress and more like a high-fashion architectural feat, frequently described as a living disco ball. The floor-length, long-sleeved column gown featured a high mock neck and was covered from top to bottom in an intricate mirror mosaic pattern, while the thousands of shards covering the fabric looked like shattered glass. They were actually laser-cut acrylic mirrors. This was a strategic choice by Ford to ensure the gown remained wearable and relatively lightweight, as real glass would have made the dress nearly impossible to move in. The structured design was an exquisite lesson in precision, with every mirrored tile positioned to catch the light from the red carpet flashbulbs, creating a blinding 360-degree shimmer. To keep the focus on the high-shine mosaic, J.Lo accessorized with a chunky diamond ring and elaborate earrings by Nawaka, along with silver Jimmy Choo heels. Her beauty look leaned into the dramatic intensity of the dress, featuring a deep, bronze smoky eye and a sleek side-parted blowout. It remains one of the most unapologetically bold silver looks in Academy history, proving that when Jennifer Lopez does a metallic theme, she goes all in on the brilliance. Brie Larson, 2019. At the 2019 Oscars, Brie Larson arrived in a look that felt like a high-fashion victory lap for her role as Captain Marvel. Stepping out in a custom Celine gown by Hedi Slimane, she opted for a sleek, chainmail-inspired aesthetic that bridged the gap between a Hollywood starlet and a cosmic superhero. The floor-length halter gown was crafted from a shimmering metallic mesh that draped over her frame like liquid mercury, featuring a high mock neck and a daring thigh-high slit that added a sharp, modern edge to the statuesque silhouette. The design was as bold in the back as it was in the front, featuring a deep V plunge that reached the waistline, showcasing Slimane's signature rock and roll minimalism. To lean into the cool-toned brilliance of the mesh, Brie accessorized with striking diamond earrings from Chanel Fine Jewelry and silver metallic Jimmy Choo mini sandals. Her beauty look featured icy blonde waves swept to one side, which perfectly complemented the dress's industrial shine. Attending as a presenter alongside her co-star Samuel L. Jackson, Brie used the silver mesh to signal a new, powerful chapter in her career, proving that superhero chic could be the most elegant look on the red carpet. Scarlett Johansson, 2020. At the 2020 Oscars, Scarlett Johansson celebrated her rare double nomination status with a custom Oscar de la Renta gown that was a marvel of technical craftsmanship. Rendered in a unique metallic pewter shade, the dress required over 300 hours of labor to complete. The design centered on a transparent corseted bodice, which featured an exposed mesh structure, draped with strands of sparkling beaded fringe. These hand-applied silk threads created a molten or liquid effect that appeared to drip down her frame, blurring the line between jewelry and clothing. The high-texture bodice transitioned into a bias-cut satin skirt that flowed into a sweeping floor-length train. The gown was specifically designed with a low, open back to showcase Scarlett's large roseback tattoo, which added a personal, edgy contrast to the romantic updo she wore for the night. To match the brilliance of the metallic fringe, she wore $2.1 million in diamonds from a collaboration between Forevermark and Anita Ko, including exceptional pear-shaped diamond drop earrings. Finished with silver Jimmy Choo heels, the ensemble was widely regarded as the pinnacle of liquid glam, proving that even a traditional silhouette can feel futuristic when executed with such intricate, handcrafted detail. Margot Robbie, 2021. For the 93rd Academy Awards, Margot Robbie stepped away from traditional high-shine metallics for a more understated brushed silver aesthetic. Attending as a producer for Promising Young Woman, she wore a custom Chanel Haute Couture mermaid gown designed by Virginie Viard. The dress was a feat of quiet luxury, crafted from ennobled metallic lace that featured a delicate silver and black floral print. This intricate fabric was so complex, it required 205 hours of manual labor to assemble, resulting in a silhouette that Robbie's stylist, Kate Young, described as effortless and refined. The gown featured slim camisole-style straps, a low-cut back, and 3 signature jeweled buttons down the bodice, drawing inspiration from Chanel's Fall 2019 Couture collection. While the dress was a study in subtle shimmer, the real headline was Margot's beauty transformation. She debuted a major hair change on the red carpet, sporting a new, darker blonde shade styled into a tousled low ponytail with fresh, blunt bangs. To ground the metallic lace, her makeup focused on a sunshiny glow with bronze skin and a soft mauve lip. Accessorized with Chanel fine jewelry, pearls, and diamonds, the look proved that silver can be just as impactful when it's soft, floral, and romantic. Ana de Armas 2023. At the 2023 Oscars, Best Actress nominee Ana de Armas delivered a red carpet moment that functioned as both a high-fashion triumph and a poetic tribute. She wore a custom Louis Vuitton shimmering mermaid gown designed by Nicolas Gasquier, which required a staggering 1,000 hours of craftsmanship to complete. The silver silk organza dress featured a clean scoop neckline and a body-skimming bodice, but the true spectacle was the skirt, a 3D degraded scallop train with tiers of ruffles that transitioned into individual embroidered rose petals at the hem. The gown was a calculated nod to Marilyn Monroe, whom Ana had recently portrayed in Blonde. The shimmering nude illusion effect was inspired by the iconic Jane Louis dress Monroe wore to sing Happy Birthday to JFK in 1962. However, Ana infused the look with her own narrative, describing the texture as feeling like morning dew or little drops of rain. Beyond the Hollywood references, the ruffled hemline provided a flamenco touch that paid homage to her Cuban heritage. Accessorized with white gold and diamonds from the Louis Vuitton high jewelry collection, the look was completed with sleek, middle-parted hair and luminous makeup, perfectly balancing the gown's intricate, hand-embroidered complexity. Jessica Chastain, 2023. Returning to the 95th Academy Awards as a presenter following her Best Actress win, Jessica Chastain delivered a look defined by sharp, graphic contrast. She wore a custom Gucci gown that served as a premier demonstration of textures, featuring a shimmering silver bodice entirely encrusted in crystals and sequins. The floor-length silhouette was framed by a plunging deep V neckline with black velvet trim, which bled into a dramatic, high-contrast black velvet fishtail train that pooled on the red carpet. The cool metallic brilliance of the silver sequins was anchored by a spectacular piece of Gucci high jewelry. Jessica wore the lion head necklace, an 18-karat white gold masterpiece adorned with over 80 carats of diamonds and vibrant green savorites, which provided a sharp pop of color against the monochromatic gown. Styled by Elizabeth Stewart, the ensemble was completed with Jessica's signature red hair in soft, polished waves and a bold red lip. It was a look that successfully bridged the gap between old-world Hollywood regality and the sleek, modern aesthetic of the Gucci house. Kate Hudson, 2023. At the 2023 Oscars, Kate Hudson embraced a high-octane disco glamour aesthetic in a custom road art silver mermaid gown. Often described as an explosion of sequins, the dress was entirely encrusted with hundreds of shimmering silver beads that created a liquid-like movement as she walked. The silhouette featured delicate double spaghetti straps and ethereal, off-the-shoulder, flowing sleeves that met at a classic sweetheart neckline, balancing the heavy metallic texture with a touch of soft, romantic airiness. The gown transitioned into a dramatic, long trailing train that shimmered under the red carpet lights, perfectly capturing the high-shine energy of the night. To keep the focus on the intricate neckline and the more is more sparkle of the sequins, her stylist, Sophie Lopez, opted to skip a necklace entirely. Instead, Kate wore striking teardrop earrings from Rachmaninoff diamonds and elevated the look with silver platform heels by Giuseppe Zanotti. With her hair styled in side-parted bombshell Hollywood waves and a glowy, shimmery beauty look, Kate's ensemble was a luminous tribute to the classic silver screen era. Anya Taylor-Joy, 2024. At the 2024 Oscars, Anya Taylor-Joy delivered a high-fashion resurrection of one of the most famous designs in history. She wore a custom Dior Haute Couture gown inspired by Christian Dior's legendary 1949 Venus and Junon sister dresses. While the mid-century originals featured pink and blue hues, this modern interpretation utilized a sophisticated gray and silver color scheme. The look was a direct reference to Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, specifically mimicking the aesthetic of a goddess emerging from a shimmering scallop shell. The construction of the gown was a staggering feat of couture, requiring approximately 3,500 hours of meticulous hand embroidery. The strapless columnar bodice provided a sleek, modern structure that anchored the show-stopping skirt, which was composed of multiple layers of crystal-encrusted scalloped petals. These petals mimicked fish-like scales and seashells, creating a heavy metallic texture that shimmered with every movement. To enhance the Venus theme, Anya wore her hair in a simple, straight style to evoke the goddess's legendary tresses. She accessorized with a spiky platinum and diamond necklace from the Tiffany & Company Out of the Blue collection and a Jaeger-LeCoultre 101 Ren diamond watch, proving that archival fashion can feel entirely futuristic when rendered in liquid silver. Mindy Kaling 2025. At the 2025 Academy Awards, Mindy Kaling leaned into a sophisticated gilded nature aesthetic, wearing a silver nature-inspired halter gown from Oscar de la Renta's Fall 2025 collection. The dress was a departure from her usual penchant for bright, solid colors, instead focusing on high-contrast textures and intricate craftsmanship. The design featured a mermaid silhouette entirely covered in metallic fern leaf embellishments that appeared to grow across the fabric. These botanical embroideries were layered over sheer panels, creating a modern, naked dress effect that felt both regal and avant-garde. The gown's halter-style neckline highlighted Mindy's frame, while the shimmering silver leaves provided a heavy metallic weight to the delicate tulle base. To ground the ethereal, silvery sheen of the dress, her stylist, Erin Walsh, opted for a dramatic beauty look. Mindy wore a bold, dark lip and deep, smoky eyeshadow, providing a gothic glam edge to the botanical theme. She kept her jewelry minimal to let the dense leaf patterns take center stage, choosing only a pair of classic diamond stud earrings by Effie. Later in the evening, she maintained her silver streak for the Vanity Fair Oscar party, changing into a nude silk tulle Elisab Haute Couture gown, featuring a stunning gradient of silver pearls and crystals. Halle Berry 2025. At the 2025 Oscars, Halle Berry proved that she remains the undisputed queen of high-concept glamour, arriving in a custom Christian Siriano gown that looked like a work of avant-garde architecture. The metallic silver dress was a masterpiece of light and reflection, adorned with approximately 7,000 mirrored crystals and angular fragments carefully placed to create a shattered mirror effect. The design centered on a structured, strapless bodice with a stained glass aesthetic, transitioning into a mermaid-style maxi skirt that flowed into a dramatic, high-shine sequin train. The gown was engineered to play with light and shadow, featuring semi-sheer side panels detailed with smaller glimmering crystals that enhanced her hourglass silhouette. Adding to the night's excitement, Halle shared a playful red carpet kiss with Adrien Brody, a viral callback to their legendary 2003 encounter. While dressed in this suit of silver armor, she accessorized with pomellato jewelry, including diamond hoop earrings and a chunky statement bracelet. To balance the shattered intensity of the dress, her brunette bob was styled sleek and straight with a retro flipped-out finish, while her Bond Girl-inspired makeup featured a heavy smoky eye and a nude glossy lip. For the after-party, she maintained her metallic theme, changing into a second, equally striking silver couture look by Georges Chakra. Demi Moore 2025. For the 2025 Oscars, Demi Moore delivered a top-tier display of statuesque glamour, wearing a custom Giorgio Armani privé gown that was as much a feat of engineering as it was a fashion statement. The silver masterpiece was intricately hand-embroidered with a staggering 70,000 crystals and 150,000 paillettes, creating a shimmering, starry effect that caught every flashbulb on the carpet. The labor involved was immense, requiring 1,670 hours of work by a dedicated team of 18 artisans to complete the embroidery alone. The design featured delicate spaghetti straps and a plunging neckline, but the true architectural interest lay in the pleated and ruched detailing along the hips, which added structural volume before flowing into a dramatic, sweeping train. The gown's radiant glow held deep symbolic meaning for Moore. The vibrant, starry effect was intended as a tribute to the final scene of her film The Substance, representing her character's journey toward finding peace. To complement the cool-toned silver, she wore high-shine chopard diamond jewelry, including chandelier earrings and a large cuff bracelet. With her signature raven hair styled in long, loose waves and a subtle, smoky eye, Demi's look proved that extreme craftsmanship can result in a silhouette that feels entirely effortless. Emma Stone, 2026. At the 2026 Oscars, Emma Stone proved that minimalism can be just as high impact as a disco ball, arriving in a custom Louis Vuitton gown that radiated a celestial, liquid silver glow. While the dress was a shimmering, pearlescent white, the fabric possessed a metallic luminosity that created a fluid, mirror-like illusion whenever she moved. The construction of this ethereal piece was a marathon of couture technique, requiring over 600 hours of hand embroidery to achieve its seamless, luminous finish. The silhouette was a study in balanced proportions, featuring a modest, structural square neckline and unexpected cap sleeves that gave the look a modern, architectural feel. However, the true wow factor was revealed when she turned. The gown featured a daring, plunging backless design that scooped all the way down to the small of her back. Emma maintained a minimalist approach to her accessories to let the liquid fabric speak for itself, choosing dainty diamond huggy earrings and a delicate ear cuff from Rapassi. Her signature auburn hair was styled in a sleek, side-parted bob with romantic waves, while her makeup tied the look together with shimmering white eyeshadow and a soft peach-toned lip, cementing her status as a modern-day silver screen siren. From the hand-stitched petals of the 1950s to the laser-cut mirrors of the future, these 15 looks prove that, while gold may be the color of the trophy, silver is the color of the icon. Each of these gowns didn't just capture the light, they captured a moment in fashion history that we'll be talking about for decades. But now, I want to hear from you. Which of these high-shine looks was your absolute favorite? Was it J.Lo's disco ball drama or Emma Stone's liquid glow? Drop a comment below and let's debate. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Fashion News for your daily dose of style, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a red carpet breakdown. Until next time, stay glamorous.